Assalamu alaikum everyone. I'm creating this video to talk about something that we've been working on for quite some time, and that is the school website. So we felt that we've noticed that our students feel as though, especially our high school students, feel as though there aren't many opportunities available to them, right? And despite the fact that we're living in New York City and that there's so many resources and so many different opportunities that are available to students in New York City, that is easily discoverable online, right? But nevertheless, our students do in fact feel that their options and opportunities are limited, and so we felt exposure to those different opportunities would go a long way for our students. And so that's what we tried to do on our school website. Now, I should preface this by saying two things. First of all, what you're about to see, what I'm about to walk you through on this website, it's all you could say is kind of like a prototype. This is kind of like the first draft. And so things are subject to change. So if you're watching this video, a few months later, we're currently in January 14th. So if you're watching this video somewhere after January 14th, chances are things have changed. That's the first thing. Second thing is, I do want to say that we're very, very excited to be presenting this to the students. This has been a long time in the making, and we feel like this could be an invaluable resource to the students. So much so that I'll even go so far as to say that I have not personally seen these types of resources available to students in any school, public school or private, right? The things that I'm about to show you that we've put into the website, we're very, very happy about, and we feel like a lot of fruits can come from this. And I don't really know how else to say it. This is not really available to students in other schools. And I know why it's not available to students on other schools, because the moment you put it on your website, it becomes free. Anybody can come and take advantage of it, right? But we said we don't care about that. We just want to create resources and make them as easily accessible as possible to students. So we put them on the website anyway, right? So without further ado, I'm going to walk you through all the different resources that are that we've created. And we're going to start from the bottom because the bottom is the quickest, and the further up we go, the more intricate it gets. So we'll start with VHS Learning. So if you go on the website, you go over guidance and you click VHS Learning, you'll be greeted with this page. So VHS Learning, for those who don't know, and I should say that this video is applicable to all students 8 through 12, okay? So VHS Learning stands for Virtual High School, right? VHS, Virtual High School. And this is just a company that we have partnered with that offers our students classes that would otherwise not be available to students at a normal school, right? And we decided to partner with them primarily for AP courses. So when you go to this, so the thing is, like, if you're a student at a Mamur school, you'll probably graduate. If you stick with the Mamur school curriculum, you'll probably graduate with 3 or 4, maybe 5 AP courses at the most, right? And that is a pretty healthy amount of AP courses, but we know that there are quite a few students out there who strive for more, who want more, right? There are some students, even in public school, who graduate with something like 8, 9, 10 AP courses. So we didn't want our students feeling limited, so we partnered with this organization. This organization offers something like 20, 21 different AP courses, and what you could do is if you decide to, you can partner with this, you can submit a form to us saying that you want to take an AP course with VHS, and I'll walk you through the process as we go along this page. So at the very top, you'll see an introduction to VHS, what they do, and what it's like. Over here, you'll see the requirements. You'll see how you can register. This is the form. If you want to register for a course, you just have to fill out this form, right? So you click this, and you can print this out, and you can fill it out. I'm not going to go through it all, but you'd include the student name, your grade, the school year for the year that you want to register for the course. So if I want to register for a course for next school year, I need to be careful and write the school year is 2021, 2022, and the grade would be, if I'm in 9th grade this year, then it would be 10th grade next year, right? Okay, anyway. So then as you go along, you'll see also the course catalog. You can click this and you can explore any of the courses that they have. And you'll see they have a plethora of courses, right? So you're not just limited to AP courses. If you want, you can take any course with VHS. And they have a lot of courses that are super interesting. Like they have computer science courses, they have business courses, they have art courses, engineering courses, right? These courses would be treated as elective courses, but even still, they're still I imagine they're very exciting for a lot of students. I mean, I even saw over here that they had some really cool courses. Like they have video game design, Java programming, web design, right? So anyway, I should have been explaining what I was doing as I went along with this. So I would click on course catalog. You can click on any one of these and it would take me to this page. And then I would click view VHS Learning catalog. And over here, I can search for a course. You see there's 220 courses. It's quite a lot of courses. I can search for a course, or I can just search by discipline, right? So this time around, I clicked on computer science. So you'll see, as you look at the courses, you'll see that some are offered in fall. That means at the very beginning of the school year, and it's 35 weeks. That means it's a full year. That's a full school year, 35 weeks. You'll see over here, some will have a course that's summer, and it's only 4 weeks. That's the summer course. Over here we have fall and spring, and it's 15 weeks. That means it's a single semester course, right? It's not a full year course. So if we go back to where we were looking, you'll see that all of these are 1 semester courses, right? So if I click on one of the courses, let's click on web design, it gives me a description of what the course is like. So I can walk through this, I can read through this. I was reading through this yesterday. It was really cool, right? So I don't know about you, but I personally am very interested in web design, especially since I've been working so long on this website. But check this out. They have some cool resources that I didn't even know existed, right? It says over here, among other helpful tools and curricular resources, students will use Glitch, a respected training level browser-based web development platform. So if we click on Glitch, it'll take us over here, and it says Glitch is the friendly community where everyone codes together. Now, my understanding of what this means, and maybe I'm wrong, is that students, it's just like Microsoft Word versus Google Docs. Microsoft Word, you're working on it on your own. Google Docs, you're working on it you could send it to other people and you could work on it with other people. And over here, it's like the same thing. So you're going to have, instead of coding, you'd be learning how to code. And instead of coding on your own, you're coding via Glitch, where others can see your codes as well. And they can contribute and so on and so forth, which makes it pretty obvious that there's a lot of group work in here, which is really cool. All this stuff sounds really fun. There's cybersecurity. What the heck is cybersecurity? Okay, I'll read this on my own time. Okay, it shows you the prerequisites. A lot of the prerequisites, as I've been browsing through the courses myself, are not too far off. I think our students qualify for them pretty much across the board. Anyway, but we have a lot to go through. I don't want this video to be insanely long. So next up, we have AP courses and their benefits. So we obviously put this here because typically students we expect will register with VHS for AP courses. And if you are curious as to what the benefits are for taking AP courses, they're all listed here. Also, this year we have about 14 students who are currently taking courses with the VHS, and we deliberately went to them about 12 weeks into the course, which was, I don't remember when this was, but like November or something, or December, and we asked them to give us testimonials. Positive, negative, doesn't matter. We want to hear from you. We want to hear exactly what your experience is like, and as you go through this, you can read through the students' experiences. I can tell you from personally dialoguing with these students that the students really enjoy the courses. There was probably one student who felt otherwise, and their testimonial is here as well. But for the most part, all of them felt like getting into it, it was a completely different learning style, learning structure, and it took some getting used to, but the moment they got used to it, they kind of saw the value in it, and they really enjoy it. And I can tell you that these students, most of them are currently registered for only 1 course with VHS this year. Many of them said that they want to register for 2 or 3 courses in the coming year. Now there's one little tidbit of information that's not available on this website just yet, and it's because we don't know it just yet, and that is how much do these courses cost. So just to give you an idea of what we're looking at, a single course, a full year course with VHS costs $1,000. It's very expensive, right? But because of our partnership with them, they have decided to give a discount to all of our students. So if any student registers for Mamadou School, they get a discount. What will that discount be next year? I have no idea. We're not sure yet. But I can tell you that the discount for this year is $450, which means that any student who registered for a course with VHS this school year, they registered, that course was $550. I shouldn't say only. It's still quite a bit of money, but it's less than a college course for sure, right? If you take an AP course and you do well in that course, you get exempt from either 1, 2, or 3 college courses. And obviously, it's way cheaper than that. Anyway, so let's go on to the next part, which is testing. Now it doesn't look like there's much here, but this is basically everything you need to know about testing. If you want, you can click over here and it'll take you to a link where you can read about general testing or state testing for kindergarten through 12th grade, which I don't imagine many of you will use that. Next up, there is the SAT. If you want to read up about the SAT, if you want to go to College Board website to register for the SAT, to check out the SAT, whatever it is, you could do that. This link will tell you what the SAT is. Then there's SAT subject tests. Our students have not been taking SAT subject tests, which is very disappointing. But I put it over here because I really do want students to read up on it, to take advantage of it. It's not something that we can, how do I put it? The SAT subject tests are not something that any school can push students, let's say require students to take. These are totally optional tests, but they are obviously far easier than the standard SAT. And they go a long way when it comes to your college application, right? Some programs in college, they do require that you take an SAT subject test. Lastly, there are CLEP exams. CLEP exams are amazing in that you can, let's just click on one of these. Where does it explain what the CLEP exam is? Okay. So basically, long story short, when you take the CLEP exam, it's a 90-minute to 120-minute exam on whatever subject you want to take. Here are all the different subjects you can take. And when you register for the exam, I don't know how much it costs, but then you can purchase a study guide, you can purchase an exam guide. It's not very expensive. You study for the exam on your own, make sure you understand the content, and you prepare yourself for the test. You take the test. If you pass the test, boom, just like that, you're exempt from college, some college classes, right? It's a much shorter process than an AP course, right? And it's something that we really feel like our students should take advantage of, right? It can really abbreviate your college experience, which is always a good thing, right? Getting out of college quicker, getting out of school quicker, and getting into your career, just beginning with your career is always a good thing, right? Anyway, so let's go on. So next up we have internships, and this should say internships and volunteering. So over here is basically everything that you need to know about interning and volunteering. It should all be located on this one page. Okay, so the first page basically tells you what you're required, that you need 100 hours of community service to graduate, and that your community service must be logged on GradeLink. Okay, so over here, if you're not sure how to log your hours, it's all listed over here. So it gives you screenshots, it gives you an explanation, tells you exactly what you need to do. Also, if you are volunteering or interning outside of a school, right, then you would need to use the community service log sheet. So you could just click this, you could download this, print this, whatever it is, and then anywhere you go where you're serving, you can, after every session, you can have them write this down, and then you submit it to the office, right? Okay. So if you want to intern and volunteer at a middle school, at this point there's only 2 remote. The fact that we're all remote right now with COVID means that we can't really give more opportunities than just these. The first is school clubs, and the second is tutoring, and you could read through this on your own time. So if you're interested in tutoring students, you can tutor students at our very school, right? If you're like in 10th grade, you could tutor students who are in 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade, whatever it is, 6th grade, so on and so forth. Okay, so if you want to intern and volunteer outside of a school, this I'm very excited about. This took a long time to find all this stuff, and again, like these kind of resources, not available on other schools. Okay, so if I click this, it shows me, first of all, it starts with search engines and listings. So I can click on any one of these and I can find, like this will give me a search engine for interning as a high school student. So I can just, like you can see over here, there's 676 listings just in high school for New York students, and you could choose a different, whatever thing that you're interested, or subject, I guess, that you're interested in, or field, that you're interested in, and it could, whatever, you get the point. Anyway, and then there are specific listings, right? There's specific organizations. So if I wanted to volunteer or intern at the American Museum of Natural History, I can click this and bam, right? I'm on their website, I'm on the interning page, click this, it gets me to the teen programs, scroll down a little bit, internship for teens, and I can see that they have 2 internship opportunities available to students. Click any one of them and I can register, right? Probably, where's the register? What? I checked this yesterday. Oh, click here to apply. Maybe the other one is not taking applications because of COVID, but this one is, right? Anyway, let's go back. So you can explore through all these different things. You can find any internship or volunteering opportunity that's available to you, that might interest you. Here are some volunteering opportunities. Again, being that I should say when it comes to volunteering opportunities, there's a lot that's not here, like volunteering at a food kitchen, volunteering at a hospital. We want all that stuff over here, but this is still kind of like in the early phases, right? We're going to be building on this website as time goes on. Okay, so that's interning. Let's go on to graduation requirements. So graduation requirements just shows you what you need to do and the different requirements for graduating. You can read up on this on your own time if you're interested. And last but not least, and probably the most exciting of all, is college readiness. This is basically, this one page pretty much provides you everything you need to prepare for college, right? Everything. So here's kind of what we learned in our years working in the school and seeing students go through the application process. College applications tend to be overwhelming because there's so much, and they tend to be, let's say, overbearing because there's kind of like so much to do as well. And so we're hoping that if we could put all these resources like this on the website, that things will be much more organized and much more coherent for students, making the process a lot simpler, inshallah. And also the fact that it's on this website means that students have exposure to this from a very early age, let's say. So if you're in 9th grade, you could be reading through all this stuff, preparing all this stuff, and you kind of know what you want to do, right? Especially if you're in 11th grade, since all this stuff is now publicly available to you on this website, you can just read through it and make sure that you're prepared. Because you don't want all this stuff falling on you the moment you hit 12th grade and you're just like, oh my God, there's too much, right? So let's walk through this. Let's go into each one of these different tabs. Okay, so the first is college application checklist and timeline. So if you didn't know, or if you were worried, not sure what you needed to do to apply to college, this literally gives you everything. An entire checklist, 18 different points. You go through each of these, and each one of them has deadlines, right? You go through each of these, and you will be absolutely good to go. You're ready for college, right? So, just to give you a little bit of an idea, so by September 21st of your junior year, you would have to register for free lunch. By sometime in your junior year, you have to take the SAT. Sometime in your junior year, you should be researching, exploring colleges and programs. By the end of your junior year, you want to pick up your unofficial transcript from the school to figure out where you stand, so that over the summer you know exactly what your transcript looks like and you know where you can, so you can start researching where you can apply, where you can't apply, so on and so forth. You want to create your own resume, which we'll try to help you with, inshallah. Ask teachers to write you letters of recommendation. Complete your Common App, complete your CUNY application, do this, yada, yada, yada. And if any one of these, and I should also say that there's a second page, and the second page is much more visually appealing. And if you want, what I would really recommend is that you print this, put this in like a folder or something, and so that way you have the checklist in front of you at all times. I don't know why it's showing these X's. It's kind of weird. But if you want, you could just download the checklist, right? And it's shown properly over here. Okay. Yeah, and you could just print it. Okay. So if you remember, just going back, there are 18 different points. If any one of these 18 different points confuse you in any way, you just want a little bit more elaboration, figure out exactly what's going on, well, there's an explanation right here as well. So you can scroll down and every single point is explained a little more thoroughly, right? The benefit of doing it in this way is that with this, you can print this out. It's one single page with a full checklist of your entire college application. Makes things very simple for you. Okay, so let's go back. That's checklist and timeline. Next is application resources. I just want to remind you that this is a draft, which is why it kind of looks a little unpresentable. But anyway, so these are a bunch of different resources. I'm not going to go through them, but if you were confused or you had any questions about any part of the application process, then the answer is probably here in somewhere. If it's not here, then you can just let us know and we can try to find more resources. Any questions you might have, you can let us know. We'll try to find other resources and put them on this website as well, so that we can remove any ambiguity from the process. Okay, so if I click up college application dictionary, for example, Well, as I'm going through the application process, I know that there are some words, there are some phrases that they're using I just don't understand. So I can just download this, and it shows me everything. So if I don't know what CEEB code is, well, it tells me right over here, right? If I don't know what, I don't know, a community college is, well, it tells me over here. If I don't know what a CSS profile is, EA, ED, all these different things. What is FERPA? I have no idea what FERPA is, right? Everything is explained over here, which is great. There's just one resource. There's a bunch of resources, right? And you can go through them on your own time. I just want to keep this video as brief as possible. I know it's going on for a while. Okay, so in terms of college, searching for colleges, sometimes students, what we've noticed is students don't know what colleges are even out there. What colleges can they apply to? And so they just think, whatever, I'm just going to go to CUNY because that's all that's really there. When it's not really there, you're in New York City, right? New York City has one of the most highest amount of colleges of any city anywhere, right? So there's a lot of things, a lot of opportunities that are available to students, and you can use these search engines to help you find colleges. So there's the Common App search engine, which you can see there's 912 colleges. You can search by name if you want to, or you can plug in some information that's kind of like aligned to your, demographic, and you can find something that works for you. Or alternatively, you can use the College Board search engine, which is great. So after the SAT, this would probably be really good because you could search by your SAT scores. So you can search by SAT scores and locale, and it'll show you like all the colleges that are available to you that you meet the SAT requirement for, based on your performance on the SAT, right? Really cool stuff, okay? Anyway, let's go back. So then there are scholarships and financial aid. So you know what I should do? Let's do this. Let's go to application checklist and timeline. I have it over here actually. Okay. So at some point during your college application process, you're going to want to apply for scholarships and financial aid. And this typically what we found is that this is kind of challenging for students. Why? Because when students are, dealing with this entire college application process during their senior year, they spend so long looking into programs, into different colleges, that by the time they figure out which college they go to, they're kind of exhausted, and they just don't feel like they have the strength and the willpower to do the same thing all over again, but with scholarships, right? Because scholarships is a world of its own. And so we try to compile all the most important scholarships, all the most important financial resources, so that the students kind of like have it already there for them, right? And I would really advise that you go through this, especially this one right now, even if you're in 8th grade, right? This is like something that you should know about. This is the New York 529 College Savings Program. And what this program does is, long story short, whether you realize it or you don't, your parents are being taxed every year, okay? So that means that every year they're losing money. And how much money are we talking about? It could be something like, let's put it like this. Let's do a calculator. Let's say, for example, your parents are in a pretty good position and they're making $80,000 a year, okay? Your parent goes to work every day. They probably don't share their salary with you for obvious reasons, but maybe they make $80,000 a year. Okay, I can tell you that New York State taxes are pretty crazy. So New York State will automatically, whatever you make, they'll automatically take 25% of that. So we'll just multiply this by that. And that means if your parents are earning $80,000, that means at the very most, they're seeing only $60,000 of that. The other $20,000 is going to the state, okay? And then on top of that, at the end of the year, they have to file taxes. And when they file taxes, they can either gain money if their income is low, or they can lose money if their income is high enough. And how much money are we talking about? They can lose an additional $2,000, $3,000, $5,000, $10,000. And if your parents have like considerably high income, it could be $25,000, it could be $50,000. The city just takes and takes and takes, right? And so what this New York 529 College Savings Program is basically saying, what you could do is you could take some of your money, you could put it in here as a college and dedicate it to college savings for your child, right? And that money that you put into the savings account over here will never be taxed, okay? It won't be taxed. The only caveat is that that money must be used for college savings. If it's used for anything else, if you pull it out and you say, you know what, I no longer want to use it for college savings, there is a fee that would be imposed upon you. But still, there should be like let's say for example, if your parents are putting something like they expect your college tuition is going to be, let's say $150,000. I know it's a lot, but that's college nowadays, right? If they expect your college tuition to be something crazy high like that, then they could put something like, $15,000 a year. And if they do that for 4 years, it'll be $60,000. So they know it's not enough money where they feel like they might pull it out, but it's definitely enough money where they're going to save on their taxes, right? So putting some money in here might be really beneficial, right? Anyway, that's just one of the college savings programs, right? There's all these different scholarships that are available to students that students should be aware of. Okay, college, what to expect. Oh no, this page is empty. Well, oh, it's not empty. Cool. Oh, he did it. Okay. So this is kind of just a PowerPoint that you can go through that gives you a basic understanding of what you should expect in college, what college looks like, right? This PowerPoint is probably going to be built off of as we go on. Like this is probably not the final product. If you check this even in like a month, this might be different, right? We might be building on this more and more. Okay, anyway, so majors and career paths. If you go through this, you can click the first few links, and these links will show you different career paths. You can go through them, find a career that's interesting to you. It's not just about being a doctor, right? There's so many different careers out there, and I feel like students should be exposed to that, and they should be aware of that. And you have 3 different websites that you can go through. You can pick whichever one you want to, and just look at different careers, read up about them. You can find out what their salaries are. You can find out what their requirements are to work in that career, so on and so forth, right? And then we have different colleges that are available that are like nearby. All these colleges are in New York City. You can go through these different colleges, click on any one of them, and you can find, the different programs that they offer, different majors and specializations that they offer. And you can read up on them. Find something that you would be interested in. It's not just about pharmacy or medical. Those are great fields, don't get me wrong. But at the same time, I just feel like students are falling in line with those specializations because they just don't know that there's other stuff out there, right? And so exposing yourself to other opportunities and finding something that might be more interesting to you is probably a good thing. Okay. Next up, we have a model transcript and resume. So this is just if you want to see what a transcript looks like, because a transcript is a very big part of your college application, right? And this is kind of what a typical transcript looks like. Part of the reason why I put this up here on the website is to give students an understanding of the different nuanced elements of a transcript, because there are some things in here that you might not expect, okay? I'm not going to go into it right now, but if we look at Shakespeare's transcript over here, Shakespeare, there are times where he's been a great student, times where he's not been a good student. Over here, he failed a lot of classes. This guy. Anyway, so just to give you an idea, like over here, you'll see that in grade 8, there are only very few classes in 8th grade, as opposed to 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade. So then why is it that there's so few classes? And these few classes, if you'll notice, the GPA says NA, not applicable. But over here, there are GPA. Well, why does it say NA, right? Over here, I have 7.5 credits. What are even credits? Why do I have 7.5 over here, 7.5 over here, and over here I only have 2.5 when I took basically the same amount of classes? These are all kind of like little nuanced elements of the transcript that we feel like students should know, and they're all kind of explained over here. Okay, when you're applying for college, you also will be required to create a high school resume. So if you click this, it gives you, it'll download a model resume for you. So this is kind of like an example resume, something that you should be looking to create throughout your college experience or when preparing for college. Okay, last but not least, we have pre-college and summer programs. So what are pre-college and summer programs? Pre-college programs are classes basically you can take, college level classes you can take before you actually attend college. So that means that after school on the weekends or over the summer, you can register for a pre-college program, and many of them even would earn you college credits, right? So they would actually count as college classes. And you could go through these different colleges and you could find pre-college programs. Every year these different colleges are trying to offer as many pre-college programs as they can, and some of them are really good. The caveat here when it comes to pre-college program is that there is a fee, right? So You can see non-credit programs. These are college, you'll take college level classes without receiving credits, or there's a college credit program, which you would take this class and you would get college credits, despite the fact that you're in high school, right? But they are pretty costly. Not all of them are costly. Different universities charge different prices, but they are worth looking into. Okay, and then there are summer programs. You could go through these summer programs. Some of them are really cool. A lot of them involve traveling. Some involve like camping and whatnot. You can check them out. Some of them are really, really nice. And there are some free after school and summer programs. Not all of them are paid, right? So on your own free time, you could just look through them. And I do want to emphasize that all these are searchable and findable via Google. You could find them, like, really just Google a few things and you could find them. But the reason why we compiled all of this and put all of this on the website, despite the fact that it was quite a project, the reason why we put it all on the website is because we wanted to have an easy hub, like an easy resource for students to visit whenever they can, to kind of give them a head start. Okay, let's just make sure there's nothing that I didn't go over. I think I went over everything. I think that's everything. I just want to emphasize that, again, this is like in the early draft / prototype phase. And a few months from, we feel like it's at a point where we can share with students and students can start benefiting from it, but we will continue to build on this, inshallah. And I do imagine that a few months from now, especially with student contribution, I can't emphasize, I really do want to emphasize that point, that if you feel like anything is missing over here, or you feel like there's something that you know about that you feel like other students could benefit from as well, just let us know and we'll post it on this website as well, so that students can benefit from it, inshallah. Yeah, and right, so main point being that this resource, all these resources on this website will not stay the same forever. We're going to constantly try to build on them and build on them and build on them, inshallah. Okay, I do want to say that like, how do I put this? That we feel like this is truly an invaluable resource for students, and that not only have our students not had these types of resources available to them before, like this is the first time that we're making this kind of stuff available to students, but on top of that, students in other schools do not have these types of resources available to them. The way that students in other schools, public schools and whatever else, the way that they would get exposure to these kind of things usually is by going to their guidance counselor office, having a conversation with their guidance counselor, telling their guidance counselor what they feel they're interested in, and the guidance counselor offering some like recommendations, right? But over here, what we've done is we've created all these resources, made it available to you. You can take full advantage of them. You can look for instead of you coming to us and telling us what you're interested in, you can explore and try to find something that you yourself are interested in. And you might find something that you're interested in that you didn't know that you were interested in, right? And so we feel we're really excited to share this with students, and we really sincerely hope that students do take advantage of this and do capitalize on it. If there are any questions or concerns, you can let me know, but I think that's it for now. Jazakumullah khair, and assalamu alaikum.